Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Indy's Trusted Servant Show on inspiresmall.biz/Indy's Trusted Servant. Thanks to Ryan Henry, the guru for Indy's Trusted Servant, the major domo, the creator of Indy's Trusted Servant, for allowing me, Danny O'Malia, to do these interviews on inspiresmall.biz. I'm Indy's Trusted Servant, and I do customer service training and keynote speaking about customer service and organizational culture. I learned all of that from the hand of the master, my dad, my late dad, Joe O'Malia, at O'Malia Food Markets. But even before that, when I was 9 years old, when he owned a little grocery store in Broad Ripple that's now a bar, and lost it. And one of the things he taught me was you never ever give up. And 10 years after he lost that store, he successfully launched O'Malia Food Markets. What is the Indy's Trusted? Oh, if you're interested in my customer service training or keynote speaking, give me a call at 317-413-9062. What's the Indy's Trusted Servant Show? I like to describe it as lively local small biz and community talk where you can feel the pulse of Indy. And today my guest has a unique relationship to my family. He is Scott Horvath of O'Malia Living. And I have to give a little background. This is a little farther than I usually go on, but he bought O'Malia Living from my aunt, Helen Jo, my late aunt Helen Jo, and my cousin Kevin O'Malia several years ago. I'll let him tell you all about that. Uncle Billy, my dad's brother, died in 1993. Helen Jo and Kevin carried on. It was originally O'Malia's fireplace shop. It was down next to our College Avenue grocery store, and ended up on Carmel Drive where it is now. So I have a great affinity for Scott and O'Malia Living. So Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it.
It's good to have you. And by the way, I interviewed Scott for Carmel Parish Neighbors magazine. If you are in 032 and 033 zip codes and you are registered in a Catholic parish, you can read about all of this in Carmel Parish Neighbors as well as this interview. So Scott, tell us about your background, and it's a very unique background, and how you came to buy eventually O'Malia's Living.
Well, born and raised right here in central Indiana. Never moved away. Went down to IU and
Where'd you go to high school?
Went to high school at Center Grove.
He's
on
a
the south
Trojan.
side.
Okay.
Trojan, yes. And went down to Indiana University, got my degree, and I was fortunate enough to be hired by Eastman Kodak. And I
Degree was in what?
Marketing.
Marketing, okay.
And hired by Kodak for sales, and my assigned territory was right here in central Indiana.
Which you were happy about, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, every college youngster wants to, move to LA or New York, right? But I was happy to be here. This is where my family and friends were. So I stayed in the area, and I was with Kodak for 9 years. And then I had an offer to go to Ivy Tech. And Ivy Tech was in the midst of a transition from a vocational technical school to the community college system in the state of Indiana at the time.
Right.
And my job was in workforce development. It was to create a sales force for the college, which I did. And I was with Ivy Tech for almost 15 years. Ended up moving.
That's an interesting place, and they have an interesting mission, and it's a very valuable mission.
Well, and I fell in love with education, and my role really changed. It really morphed during that time.
How so?
Well, I went from sales into doing accreditation documentation and filling out grant paperwork, and ended up overseeing workforce, economic, and community development for the school. And within that role, one of my jobs was to oversee the Small Business Development Center for Central Indiana.
Okay.
And I wore many hats.
So Ivy Tech has a Small Business Development Center.
At the time they did.
They don't
Yes.
anymore.
No, it is currently housed maybe at Butler.
Oh, okay.
But I became a certified next level instructor, and I'm teaching, would-be entrepreneurs and small business owners how to operate, run, and even start up businesses.
Great.
And at the same time, I I didn't have that expertise myself, or that experience, I should say. I had the expertise. I didn't have the experience.
You were self-taught.
I was self-taught. Yes, I'm teaching out of a book. So, fast forward, an opportunity came along for me to start a business, and I did. I started a business in 2012 called Chatter Fund Media, and I ran that business through 2015, sold it, and then O'Malley's Living came up.
Tell us about the Chatter box.
Chatter Fund.
Chatter Fund.
Chatter
Yeah,
Fund
this is
Media.
pretty interesting from our interview. I want you to share this information.
I had small kids at the time, and I come from a background where I'm a first generation American, so my family's Hungarian, and the one thing that I noticed in other cultures is that youngsters are introduced to language early, second languages early. I wanted my kids to be introduced to a second language early.
Okay.
So I developed Chatter Fund Media, which was a software-based C++ language program that introduced, it didn't teach a second language, it introduced them to German, Spanish, French, American Sign Language, as well as English.
The sign language thing was real interesting, I thought.
A very visual language. It also introduced culture. So it was a language cultural program, and it was backed by a full curriculum. And we sold that into early childhood centers. The instructor, the teacher, did not have to be bilingual in order to use the program, because the program would do all of that for them.
Okay. And you developed this all on your own?
Well, to a certain extent. I did have partners out of Aachen, Germany, and Greece.
Okay. How'd you get those?
Cousins.
Oh, okay.
Family.
Okay. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Super. So did you sold the business before you realized you were going to buy the O'Malley Living? Or?
I did. The business was in a transition. App development was huge at the time. And I didn't have the resources to push this into an app like some other businesses did. So we sold it for it to go into app development, and then I took the funds from that and purchased O'Malley's Living.
So you became aware of O'Malley's being available how?
Through an acquaintance of Rotary.
Oh, and you're sitting here with two Rotarians. Okay. Are you a Rotarian yourself?
Yes.
Carmel Rotary?
Actually, the Center Grove Rotary.
Because you still live down south,
yes,
right?
At the time, I was in the downtown Rotary, though.
You were? Well, I'm in the downtown Rotary, but we didn't get to know each other much.
We did not. I think we figured out that our years didn't overlap. I was in downtown Rotary from 05 through 10, maybe.
And I joined in 9. So, yeah, okay. Gotcha. So an acquaintance, who was the acquaintance? But maybe it's somebody I know. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Minor inconvenience.
So I found out that the business was for sale, and I was familiar with the O'Malley's business, and I knew that it represented an ideal that might fit for me at the time. You know,
how were you familiar with it? Had you bought stuff from them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Completely different business from what I was used to.
Retail business.
Yeah, and I've got, the only thing I have at this point is a software business. But being in education, you're exposed to so many different things. And I'm in the classroom teaching folks how to start welding businesses. So how can retail sales and service be any different, right?
It's a business, right? It's a business.
Yeah, it's a business. But so I jumped headfirst into it. I liked what I saw.
So you just contacted my cousin Kevin, or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And we went through the arrangements, made the deal, and what I saw was a big opportunity with what was a great foundation.
That's great to hear. Now, what year was this?
2015.
I think I told you, as we've met before, that I had the honor of eulogizing my Aunt Helen Jo. I visited her a lot when she was sick, and she and Kevin did a great job carrying on Uncle Billy's business and growing it, moving it from 106th and College to basically where the Carmel Arts Center is on Rangeline, and then down to where you are now over the years, and growing it. And what originally was O'Malley's fireplace shop, Uncle Billy installed fireplaces, became much, much more. So tell us about what O'Malley Living is, and how many employees do you have?
Well, right now we've got 12 employees.
Okay.
We could use a couple of more.
Okay.
We are retail sales and service of patio furniture, barbecue grills, and fireplaces.
Yep.
So the Fireplace Foundation is still there, and we do excellent with fireplaces. But we've become pretty big in the outdoor living area.
You sure have. Yeah, patio furniture, et cetera, et cetera. Right.
Yep.
And so, and you know the gas grills and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kevin installed our gas grill at our house, oh God, in the late 70s. And it's still there. Well, no, actually, we bought another new one from him. So that's basically it. But you're also really big on being local. But before we get into that, you still live down in the Center Grove area.
Yes.
Right? And you've got kids in the schools down there.
Yes.
And you're driving how far to work?
It's about 50 minutes or so if I avoid traffic.
So 50 minutes plus 50 minutes is an hour and 40 minutes. You're on the road. That's a chunk. Is it worth it?
Well, certainly. Yeah. No, it certainly is. I mean, the location where we're at is great. The community I love. But, you know, we kind of set a home down and where we're at right now. And that's where our friends and family are at. And that's home.
And then your kids are in school.
And they're in school.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
So we don't want to interrupt or disrupt that.
Now, your location on, it's not Carmel
Medical Drive.
It's called Medical Drive, right? Across from the nursing home,
Yes.
right? Right off Rangeline Road. Have you guys been impacted by all the road construction?
Well, we certainly have.
Yeah.
Yes.
How bad?
Well, it's hard to say because I think the economy is affecting us as well. Right
Oh, yeah.
now. So
people putting things off
Yes.
that they don't absolutely have to have today,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. But you're still doing pretty well, right?
Mhm.
That's great. Talk about your localness, I guess is the way to put it. And I know you've got there's a lot of local touches around the building. Talk about those and your desire to really be local. You advertise in Carmel Parish Neighbors Magazine, for instance, which I write for, but that's just the tip of the iceberg, I think. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we, our branding, how we want to be seen is we bring family, friends, and neighbors together. So when we look at our product selection and we think about how we touch customers, it's all about bringing friends and family and neighbors together.
And we're taping this ahead of time, and we're taping it the Friday before Memorial Day weekend and the Indy 500 and all that. And this is a great family time.
Yeah.
Right.
And so to be that, our employees, they work, live, play right there in the neighborhoods. We're hyper local. We have chair backs along the wall.
I wish I had a picture of those.
Yeah. So you want a cathedral chair? We've got it.
You got it. You want a Carmel High School chair? You want a Zionsville chair? You got it. Yeah.
Westfield, Noblesville. We've got all the schools lined up on the wall. And if you want, one of our most popular products is the Arc Rival TIT.
Talk
IU
about
Purdue.
That. Talk about that.
So yeah, the TIT is two chairs connected by a little side table. So you're forced to sit next to each other. And we've got the IU Purdue TIT, which is in red and white, black and gold.
So one guy went to Purdue and the wife went to IU,
Sure.
and that's for them.
Yes, you betcha.
That's pretty cool.
But you could do that in any color. And that's the beauty of what we have is the custom nature of stuff.
So you could do a cathedral chatard.
Sure.
You could if you wanted to, right?
You sure could.
That could be dangerous.
That could be dangerous. I agree.
So what else about the localness and what else are you involved in around Carmel?
Well, we our staff each year has the opportunity to choose local organizations, nonprofits that we benefit. So we take 5% of our net profits and donate that, and we focus on. I ask them to focus on organizations of faith or family. But
Beautiful.
they get to choose. So the staff each gets to choose one organization or nonprofit each year.
Did you just start this recently?
No, we started that about 4 years ago.
Could you name some of the organizations if you remember them?
Yes. Northview Church.
Big church.
The Cafe on the east side. It's a Center for Working Families organization. So those.
Does it have to be in Carmel?
No.
Can be anywhere in Central Indiana.
Central
right?
Indiana.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your employee base, is it pretty varied as far as the geography of where they live, or are they mostly in Carmel?
Mostly in the north side. Carmel, we go from Zionsville, Carmel, and Noblesville.
And this has got something to do with why you advertise in the Carmel Parish Neighbors, the whole faith thing, right?
Yes.
That's terrific. And of course, it comes back to the family and all that. Talk about a little bit, I don't know brand names of gas grills or patio furniture, but do you have manufacturers that you want to brag about that you offer?
Well, interestingly enough, the supply chain challenges from COVID have forced us to reevaluate all of our vendor relationships.
Then this is a good topic.
Now we do Big Green Egg, for instance, very popular product. And,
are those chairs?
Charcoal grills.
Charcoal grills. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The Big Green Egg.
Okay.
It's a smoker. It's a baker. Very popular product, and we move a lot of Big Green Eggs.
That leads to a question. What percentage of your grills are gas versus charcoal? And is charcoal kind of making a comeback because of the nostalgia time thing?
Well, our charcoal sales have increased, but primarily because of pizza ovens. More and more people are interested in doing pizza outdoors.
Is that right?
And that's a popular category right now.
Really? I did not know that.
Yes.
I'm a big pizza. I love pizza. I did not know people were grilling pizzas outdoors.
So one of the outcomes of the supply chain challenge was in 2019, we retailed Uni, which is a very popular pizza oven.
Okay.
It's made in China, though. Supply chain challenges forced us to reconsider that relationship because we couldn't get Uni pizza ovens. What we ended up finding was a company called Rosso Fuoco. It's an hour from Florence, Italy. The most authentic pizza oven you can find. So we import them now. We're one of only a dozen retailers in the United States that has the line.
That's very
as
unique.
of today.
That's very unique.
A better product, a more authentic product that came out of our research, us being forced to find a new and different solution just to have product on the showroom floor. But very happy with that outcome.
That's pretty cool. It just occurred to me, we better tell people how to find you if they don't know.
Sure.
So what's your address on Medical Drive?
It's 115 Medical Drive.
And if you can get to Rangeline Road and Medical Drive, you just go to the east, and the first building you'll see on the right, you can't miss O'Malia Living, right?
We have our own showroom, 18,000 square feet, so it's a big building.
It is a big building.
Real close to 116th and Rangeline.
So, but don't try to get to the intersection of 116th and Rangeline right now. You got to go around. Yeah, you got to go around. So, website?
Yep, www.omaliasliving.com.
www.omaliasliving.com.
Yes,
No
sir.
apostrophe in O'Malia's.
No
right?
apostrophes.
Okay. OMALIAS, right? Living.com. You want to give a retail phone number?
Yeah, it's 317-846-6812.
And that is a phone number that I have known since about 1975. It's interesting, back to the history of the fireplace shop and everything. The fireplace shop, the original one, was very small. Uncle Billy, for the uninitiated, had set tile in all the interstate rest stops back when the interstates were put in. And in doing that, he messed up his knees, and he had to find a way to not be on his knees all the time. So he came up with this whole fireplace thing. About the time my dad opened his first store on College Avenue in 66, later in about 1980, there was a fire and that little strip center was destroyed. Uncle Billy bought a house next to the store on Rangeline, which is now where the Carmel Arts District is, right? Mm-hmm. And the business was growing, so he needed more space, but he thought being next to the grocery store would, that symmetry, whatever it is. And then, of course, it just kept growing too much. And that's when they moved it to Medical Drive. You know what year that was? Seems like it was in the 90s sometime.
Okay. I was getting ready to say the early 2000s.
Maybe early 2000s, yeah. And if you saw the original fireplace shop, which you can't because it burned down, and you saw what it is now, you all have done a great job of growing the business and so forth. Let me come back. Any other manufacturers that you buy from that you want to brag about their product that you sell?
You know,
that you can think of.
We have our own private label line now, which is unique. It's called the Ambiance line, and that's fireplaces and grills. But we carry high-end exclusive lines from Mendota Fireplaces, which is the best that you can buy, to Summer Classics, which is a patio furniture line.
Okay, I was going to ask about the patio furniture, Summer Classics.
Designer quality, custom. You choose your fabric, your frame finish, and they're one of the few custom furniture manufacturers that are within 10, 12 weeks right now of delivering it.
That is a bear. That is a bear. Now, can you buy anything off the showroom floor?
Oh, you certainly can.
Okay, so if you had a display of a table and 4 chairs and an umbrella, and you wanted to buy that, you could.
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, you can't buy the gas grill off the floor. It's got to be installed, right?
Sure.
But if it's there, other than the gas grills and the fireplaces, you can buy it right there. Now, you're going to not have that available to sell to the next customer, though. Do you have any kind of warehouse or anything?
What happens, and we do, we actually have 2 warehouses.
Oh, okay.
But what happens a lot of time is the customer has a need maybe for that furniture to be on their deck tomorrow.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yes. So
bad planning, but
the furniture on the floor is already assembled. The furniture in the warehouse needs to be built. So if you need it quick, we've got it quick.
Okay. Great. Let's finish up. Give everybody all of that contact information, address, phone number, website.
So yes, O'Malia's Living. We're located at 115 Medical Drive in Carmel, near 116th and Rangeline. Our phone number is 317-846-6812, and you can visit us online at www.omaliasliving.com. OMALIAS living.com.
Well done. It's not an easy word to spell. Scott Horvath with O'Malia's Living in Carmel. Thanks for being our guest today. Thanks for letting me interview you for the Carmel Parish Neighbors magazine. And thanks for all you do in the town of Carmel and all the local stuff that you do. Next week's guest will be a good friend of mine from the Rotary Club and from the Cathedral High School Board of Directors, Dr. Matt Will, Indianapolis's economist, and he will dazzle you with his understanding of the economy. So until then, thanks for watching the Indy's Trusted Servant Show on inspiresmall.biz/Indy's Trusted Servant. We'll see you then. Take care and have a happy 4th of July.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Indy's Trusted Servant Show. If you liked this episode, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. The Indy's Trusted Servant Show is produced by InspireSmall.biz in Indianapolis, Indiana. For more episodes of the Indy's Trusted Servant Show, visit www.inspiresmall.biz/Indy's Trusted Servant. Thanks for watching. week.